tips and tricks helps, guys, okay? We're going to learn some of the tips today. So, you think you'll be happy and have a little bit of success if you have some of these tips and tricks? Okay, so let's see. So multiply by 2, okay? Sometimes you may not know what 5 times 2 is. You might know, but you may not know. Here's a trick to help you. Add the number to itself. So let's say you have, let's say somebody's asking what's 2 times 9. Well, how do you do that? You add 9 plus 9. What's 9 plus 9?
18.
Very good. 9 plus 9 is 18. And 9 plus 9 is 2 times 9, because how many times is 9 on the board? 2 times. Very good. Okay? Multiply by 5. It's important that you know when you multiply a number by 5 that the last digit is always going to be a 5 or a 0. So if you multiply 4 times 5, you're always going to have a 0 at the end. Don't say it's a 2 at the end. You'll be completely wrong. But at least you can kind of think, right? That'll help you think. So if you multiply anything times 5, I don't care if you multiply 100 times 5. What's the number going to be at the end? 5 or 0, right? It is always half of 10 times another number. Okay? It's always half of that. For example, 5 times 6 is half of 10 times 6. Do you agree? Would you agree that 5 is half of 10? Absolutely. And what is half of 60?
10.
What's half of 60?
30.
30. That's exactly right. Okay? Let's say we have 5 times 7. Okay? 5 times 7 is half of 10 times 7. What's 10 times 7? 70. And what is half of 70?
35.
Yes, sir. And that's perfect. So, it is half the number times 10. You all agree there? All right, good job. Here's another example. And that's the one we just did. Good job. Now, to multiply by 6, you're thinking, oh man, 6 is so hard. 6 times 7 is?
42.
Good. If you multiply 6 by an even number, that means they both end in the same digit. Okay, for example, if we multiply 6 times 2, it will equal 12. Do you notice that the 2 and the 12 both have the same digit here? Okay, 6 times 4 is 24. You'll notice a pattern going on here? Okay, that'll help you start. Okay, 6 times 2, 12. 6 times 4, 24. 6 times 6, 36. Okay, y'all see the pattern going on right there? All right, so let's look at to multiply by 9. Okay, and I'm actually going to teach you another 9 trick. You may already know this one, but here's a different one. To multiply by 9 is 10 times the number minus the number. Now, what did I just say? 10 times the number minus the number. There's a lot of numbers in there, huh? Well, let's see exactly what that means. For an example, 9 times 6. Do you know 9 times 6 right off the bat? No, you might not. But, what's 10 times 6? 60. So here's what you do. To figure out what's 9 times 6, you figure out 10 times 6 minus 6. And what's 10 times 6 minus 6? 60 minus 6 equals 54. And is 9 times 6 54?
Mm-hmm.
That is correct. Okay, you understand that one? Okay, let's look at another one here. Let's do this one. Okay, let's do 9 times 5. Okay, what's 9 times 5? Do you know it? Let's pretend you don't know it. Let's pretend you don't know it. Let's figure this out using the trick we just used. What's 10 times 5? 50. Very good. And now we have to take 50 minus 5. What's 50 minus 5?
45.
45. And is 9 times 5, 45? That is absolutely correct. Awesome. Good job, y'all. Alright, y'all understand that trick? The last digit always goes 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, do y'all understand that? Does that make sense? Okay, very good. If you add the answer's digits together, you get 9. Look at it. For an example, 9 times 5 is 45. We add 4 plus 5. What's 4 plus 5? What's 4 plus 5? Ma'am? 9. And when you say that 9, that 4 plus 5 equals 9, and 9 times 5 is 45. However, 9 times 11 is not 99, okay? That's our exception to the rule. To multiply by 10, very simply, just add a 0. You shouldn't be thinking in your head. If I ask you 10 times 7, you should be able to just tell me, you write the number down and add a 0. So what is that? 70. Exactly, perfect. Good job. So, example, 10 times 5 is 50. I took my number, I wrote it down, and I added a 0. Easy, right? Easy, easy, easy. Do y'all agree? If I would multiply times 100, wouldn't I add another 0? Yeah, exactly. All right. What's another? 10 times 9, they did the same thing there. All right. Do we have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Do y'all think these tips help you? I think so too. I think so too. Let's see. I have another. Now that we saw these tips, guys, let's go ahead and learn about the steps here. Today we're talking about multiplying 2 and 3-digit multiplication. It's tough, okay? You can know these times tables all you want, guys. But if you don't know how to set up the problem, what's going to happen?
You don't miss it.
You're going to miss it every time, right? Every time. So let's look at this. We're making steps to multiply, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Okay, you learn these 3 easy steps, and you'll have no problem. See, my friends down here, 1, 2, 3. They're ready to go. Are y'all ready to go? All right, let's move on. Step 1, number of rows. Okay, very simply, if you don't put the right number of rows whenever you're adding underneath here, you will never get the problem right. Would y'all agree? And how do you tell how many rows to put? Ma'am, how do you tell how many rows to put? Do you know? No? Okay, very simply, the amount of numbers on the bottom row is the same as the amount of rows underneath the problem. So where's the bottom row? Here or here? Is it 144 or 123?
Oh, 144.
That's right, the bottom row. And how many digits do we have? 3. So how many rows will we have? So 3 numbers equals 3 rows. Would you agree there? Would y'all agree? Absolutely. So step 1, know how many rows you're going to have. That way you can kind of set it up. In fact, if you want, while you're learning to set them up, I would put a 1 here, a 2 here, and a 3 here, and line them up. Line them up. That's a very simple thing that you can do to help you not get lost. Because, would you say it's easy to get lost in this? 3 rows? That's a lot of numbers, right? Now, the problems we're going to be doing later are going to be 2-row problems. So it won't be quite as difficult. But if you can get 2-row, you can get 3-row, right? Y'all both agree? Very good. All right.